Welcome, Cancer. I was just getting some visuals for you. First, I was seeing a fireplace that was shaped like a cone. It was very tall, but it kind of cradled around the fire. And then they took me into a spiral. And I'm watching the spiral, and it starts turning over to become upright as an ankh shows up. But when the ankh is part of the spiral, when it's on, like imagine a spiral wire, if the ankh is part of the wire, then the arms of the ankh aren't really arms, right? It's the spiral. And then there's just the post below the wire, and then above was actually, they were telling me, a teardrop, referencing the fluid of life. And there's that energy of the plasma ether energy. So very interesting. So again, the pine cone type of shaped. I don't know why I was getting pine cone. It didn't remind me instantly of a pine cone, but that's the energy I was getting as the shape of the fireplace. But kind of like, a fire pit in a fancy fire, freestanding fireplace where the back rises very tall and kind of the shape of a pine cone where the point is at the top. And it wasn't really pointy at the top, it was more rounded. And the fireplace, I was getting the energy of like 4 flames at the bottom. And then going into this spiral, the spiraling, and then the ankh adds, like a crown would have the lead piece on the front of it. And then that becomes the crown around your head is the coil. And then out of it then would be the crown, is the teardrop. It's the fluid of your life, right? Like cotton is the fabric of your life, the fluid of your life, and the Spirit's connecting with me still. I'm still kind of in it. That energy of the plasma ethers. So I'm sure more of that will come up as we go. So let's get into this for the sign of Cancer. We're in November still, going into December. We have the Universal Golden for the read, all uprights. Rider-Waite Mini, upright and reversals as the clarifiers. We're going to end with the Messages of Love Oracle cards and have, the rainbow falling over. I'm just getting like London Bridge falling down. The Fortune's Oracle we're going to start with to set the tone. See what's going on with the sign of Cancer. Today is Friday, the 24th of November, 2023. And what is the energy for the sign of Cancer today? During this time of November, going into December. Also, I was getting a message earlier regarding the Sag, like the Lion's Gate is 8-8, the Saggy Gate is 12-12 for me, and they were giving me the energy of the opening here of Saggy Gate, literally the Ring of Fire. So the eclipses basically have opened up the gates officially today from Thanksgiving. And there's this energy of the ocean, and water is a very significant element right now. So let's see what's here for Cancer, sign of Cancer, November to December. There you have the Phoenix, very powerful, rising from the ashes. The 25 is the Knight of Wands. And it says, be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis, okay? And that's this period through Saggy Gate. So from Thanksgiving, I was getting a portal. I actually visited a relative's house in another state yesterday, and it was it was near the ocean. It was part of the Bay tributaries. So that energy was coming up, and here's this kind of the opposite of the water, because we have the Phoenix rising in the dryness of the fire and the sands of the beach in the hourglass there. The 24 is the day's date today, and this is tomorrow, the 25th. So we have the 24, which is also Omega, and the crown, it's the Queen of Wands. And the sands of time, the fires of the earth. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind in this renewal here. And we also have the Wish card wanting to come out here, the 35, which is another fire energy, because that's the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands. And again, the Illumined Heart. And I ended my Instagram message today on so it is, but so it is so-itis. And itis references swelling and sowing, right? Sowing the seeds of love, the swollen heart, then becomes an open book, right? The living the living library here of the Akashic Records that is your heart. The bottom of the deck here is celebrations of 5, which is freedom, change, and expansion, and also the Hierophant, which is Taurus energies. And here we have the gift of celebrations. And the rolling stone that I always bring up, the EM3W, all the same letters in different positions, becomes the gift when you put them all together. And the AE ash is the bow on top. And ash means in Pleiadian, bright light. So here we have this. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life, right? This is your gift of coming together at Thanksgiving and celebration and freedom as you're bringing in all this fiery energy. But I'm still getting the watery energy from the blue coming up there with the moon. So blasting off today and tomorrow with the 24th and 25th, but they're reversed like a spiral would be. And then the 35, which is that wounded warrior energy. But we were also getting a message this morning, this little blast, this little dose of ocean water from Thanksgiving was that extra little push you needed coming in now, along with that water energy, to keep you going, right? That one last little push, like you're birthing out the final push of the baby. That's the energies that were coming up this morning as well. So let's put these up here for you. All right, so the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Wounded Warrior. So all fire energies. I was just getting the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. I don't know why. I guess they're referencing that fire energy to the droplet of the plasma ethers and the energy that you are. So let's see here. What's coming up for your read? All right, November into December for the sign of Cancer. 2023. Notice we're also 2023 going into 24, 25. All right, so 23 is the King of Wands, then the Queen of Wands, and then the Knight of Wands. And I'm getting like, and clearing out the wounds of the wounded warrior, the fire-related energies of war. Really purifying those energies here, right, to heal the heart. And the living library, right? The records of our existence. And to get your wish. To surrender to it all. Like the sands of time. And this represents, too, the energy of the infinity symbol. Where this is your sovereign part, right? Your independence. And then the hourglass in the middle is where you're combined. But it's like this person here who's independent with the sand gets, their heart is exchanged in the center with the other person. So the part that's one, you actually have each other's hearts. Where out here, you're still retaining your independence. And again, the Phoenix very much is that energy of the root blasting off. And I was getting the strength of the root and sacral combination. It's 222 on the clock right now. And that's that reference of the 2 of the higher self, the 22 of the Fool with the open heart and the leap of faith. And then the 222, which is 6, which is love, right? The everything. 222. I'm getting that Z's too, of sleepiness. You are sleepy, like someone hypnotizing you. You are sleepy. Now I'm getting the count from Sesame Street. Rapunzel, let down your hair. As he's counting to 10. Okay. All right, the sign of Cancer as we go here. November to December 2023 for the best and highest good of all who's concerned. Sign of Cancer. Cancer. I was just getting Quasimodo. I was seeing Quasimodo. I wasn't getting the name. I was seeing him. You have the Page of Wands, which is the 26 after the 24 and 25 here, and the 23 that it is now. Page of Wands is all about inspiration and that feeling of being young again. And this card is very much shaman and galactic. So the best of both worlds of 3D and 5D energies here. And again, this could be someone you know, perhaps, with very dark hair and a beard. Very interesting, because there's someone recently who came into our energy here with that description. So what's challenging you here is the Seven of Pentacles. Perhaps you're being still and thinking or daydreaming about what you want to do with your time, money, and effort here. Your savings. This can be reaping the rewards of your efforts. Perhaps you've retired or taken the day off. Perhaps literally gardening here. And there's two people, you know, outside in the mountains over here. It's more deserty, and here it's more green. So combining, again, the best of both worlds is coming in, of the desert and the lush garden of water. You know, with water comes the lushness, but there's also positives to the desert as well. So, and Spirit's connecting with me to saying, don't forget that, right? You think that the desert's desolate and there's no growth there, but there is, right? It's in the nothingness that there is also the growth. So the inner growth, the foundation. Spirit's really connecting with me on that one. The Five of Cups here is that desolate energy again of your emotions, though. Here, this is the water energy, right? Where nothing's left here. We have a bridge here, and this always reminds me of Penn, because of the bridges down there, but also because, I was just getting Missouri too, or not Missouri, but West Virginia. The university, their sports center's up on a hill, like in the background, whereas the main campus is down here. This is the sports center up on the hill at West Virginia U. This is the bridges, but the area across where Penn is, University of Penn, and the hospital there, used to be like the desolate area, right? The bad side, the other side of the tracks, because it was on the other side of the river from Philadelphia. And for whatever reason, that's coming up. And again, the Philadelphia experiment has been coming up this week too, which was all of the shipyard was the Philadelphia airport, which isn't far from where this is. So all of that coming together into shaman and galactic energies, as the Philadelphia experiment would be the more galactic, and then the hallowed ground being the more shamanistic energy. Very interesting. So the recent past here for you, Cancer, is the Eight of Pentacles, which is perhaps you're working away, wherever that is, churning them out. Perhaps you feel like an assembly line, or just getting your ducks in a row, being creative, working with your hands, working at home in your robe without having to go to work, and then sandals coming up here as well. And there's a green door here, so that can be referencing a more green environment, but this can also reference lead here with this black here. So again, there's two different worlds coming together here. There's a lot of earth here, groundedness. I'm getting the inspiration between these two, right? Because these are one right after the other. This is doing the work, and then getting to a place where you can take a rest or a break or be able to daydream a bit. But beneath that, beneath all of this is that desolate area, you know, that energy of thinking of hell or Hades, the way people would reference that, where there's nothing, the nothingness of emotions, the sadness. And then crowning here is the Hanging Man. And usually if it's upright, it's like this, but in this deck, for whatever reason, it's not comfortable for me in that position. It's supposed to be this way. So this can reference ego, but it again is that aha moment, the illumination here of after hanging out and seeing new perspectives, having that epiphany or that awakening. But again, the radiation around your head. The radiation around your head. And I get this, I'm getting the magnet too. Like one of the techniques of clearing is imagining a magnet above your head and allowing the magnet to pull out all of the negative energies or any hooks and devices that are in your etheric body is coming up now too. So I'm also getting magnetic hair. And that's been coming up a lot too, as the women lay down their hair, and we were just getting Rapunzel. Let down your hair. The magnetization of the hair is really important here. And standing up on end, right? So when I'm getting connection, when I'm telling you I'm getting big connection, all my hairs are standing up on end. So again, that's very significant. So it's not only the hairs on your body, but the hair on your head. It's just the hairs on your head are heavier, right? So they don't stand up like your little hairs do, but that doesn't mean they're not activated. Aha, that's very significant there. So what's coming up for you is the Tower. So this is some kind of sudden event, and that can be positive or negative. And then we have epiphanies, sexual exchange. This could be someone very excited. But this can be, all sorts of sudden events. We'll see what comes up with the clarifiers when we get there. But again, there's that energy of fire, which also came up earlier this week. And you have all fire energies up here. And remember, the message was clearing out the wounds of fire, of the lack of the dryness, of no water. No water. And remind you to take a sip of water. Sorry about my noisy swallowing. Okay. So we also have, as far as energies, we have, this would traditionally be Pisces, but I usually get Capricorn for the Hanging Man as well. And then we have Scorpio here. You see yourself as the Empress, which is also Taurus energy. This is a very abundant person, so she could be pregnant, but it just represents pregnancy, which is the creation of anything, right? So there's that energy of abundance and creation, of Mother Earth and the mother, the grandmother, perhaps the person of status. She's perhaps some see her as a nut, right? A nutcase, or with ice cream, but this could be melon balls as well. And she's sitting in like what looks like a baseball glove. So there could be a baseball field, so field of dreams, and angels in the outfield are coming up here too. But again, this could be a golf course, any kind of sporting energies there. Or just look at the beautiful evergreens or trees in the background. There's no houses across from where she is, that kind of energy. But you see yourself as this. And what's around her, how others might see you, is very different from that, right? Because this is more of that Scroogey energy of keeping your energies to yourself, your time, money, or effort. This also could be someone around you in your energies, right? This could be hoarding, or is this reversed energy of letting go, of fixing the place up, or fixing things up, fixing things with another person, or making amends type of energy. So we'll see what comes up with that as well. But again, you have a lot of earth energies here that we're dealing with. And the block here for you is the Two of Swords, is your knowingness, or perhaps a refusal to look at something. But this also could be just trying to stay clear, keep your energies clear so you stay balanced. People might pretend like they don't have the information, so they don't have to deal with something. Because then when they get the information here or clarity on something, it can also knock them off balance, then causing more need to go within. This can also represent a sudden knowing. And then at the end here, Cancer, you have the Eight of Wands, which is also the arrows of love. A lot of back and forth, very busyness with Thanksgiving, a lot of back and forth driving or cleaning up, or just a lot of energy being expended. I don't know if somebody got expelled. That could be as well. This is also that awakening to the arrows of love, the awakening to energy, and energy that's always moving even though you don't see it. And what's connecting what's left hanging in limbo is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is all about being love, coming in on their white horse and offering love. There could be a romantic offer here. That can just be a water sign. That could be you, Cancer, as well. And we have the Ten of Cups. This is that energy of someone offering love or kindness, right? Coming to the families and receiving their blessings. Being very happy with the family and just appreciating the environment that you live in, or just being surrounded by your family. And again, remember, there's water here too. It's not big water. It looks like a creek or maybe a little lake or something small, or maybe it's just a tributary of the bay or the ocean, but not right there on the beach. But it's very emotional here and beautiful. And again, we have Scorpio and Cancer, so two of the three water signs, and Pisces here. So you have all three water signs. So there's a lot of water here and loving energy, along with Taurus. And again, probably all the fire signs are coming up in the header there, but we also could have Capricorn here as well. And there's just a lot of earth here too. So you could be dealing with all three earth signs too. So just a lot, just not much in the air signs. This is the block, but there's no other air signs coming up, which might be a good thing, right? So I'm going to put out a few cards for the end of the read, and then we'll see what's going on as we clarify. We'll look at the underlying energies there. So something else that came up in this morning on my Instagram was the word pagan, and how it's got a very, undesirable definition. So it's not such a nice thing to be called a pagan, although it's also known as a seer and a sage. But all the rest of the definitions, are really ugly. So you can read my Instagram about that, but that was a significant energy that was coming up as well. So the bottom of the deck here is the Six of Wands, which is the journeyman, right? They get attention. They're bringing the good news at the end of the war. They have followers. They lead the way, but doing it by example. And again, I'm getting this energy of the horse listening to him without talking. So they have that, telepathic connection here, kind of like the avatar, okay? And then here's that walking away within. Let's see where we are for Cancer. So we have the Hermit back here. And the Hermit could be this King of Swords, but it doesn't have to be, right? Because we have those two. That's an air sign or a Virgo here. This can be a grandparent, an advisor, professional, but they're shedding light from the perspective of being at the top of the hill, right? So are they showing you the long way down, or are they showing you how far you've come? There's always a different perspective, right? The king of the hill. When you're at the top, you have advantage, right? To your position, right? You have a little bit of advantage there over those beneath you. So you need, it's a big place of responsibility. It's also people, the leader who needs to stand up for themselves without getting triggered, without, breaking down, right? Without getting too emotional. And here's this meditative place or prayer or rest, protecting their sacred sexual energy here. Again, the sacral energy and the root energy is coming up, where root's more of the aggressive masculine energy, and the sacral energy is the more sensual feminine energy. But remember, that's represented in both of us. It's not one or the other. So this energy of protecting your sacred energy, so standing up on guard, but also protecting it when you sleep or rest or take a break. And again, there's that energy. This is the Four of Swords, but the Three of Swords have been hung up on the wall, that separation or heartbreak, in lieu of protecting your root, perhaps doing some healing on your root and specifically your sacral energies here. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about destiny, right? And then here's the Sphinx schooling the golden goose, where all the others over here are behaving and looking at their books. They have their wings, but the golden goose is flapping away. Perhaps they don't understand what they read. They get their gander up, right? Which is what you don't want to do when you're standing up for yourself. But you do want to stand up for yourself, but do it in a way that others might respond to you, right? Because if you do it in this way, then you might be put in check by someone. They may not want to hear you. And that's also Libra energy for me. And there's the Hermit again. So there's the Virgo energy, or that energy of hermiting in a robe, on a boat, finding peace by the water. And then here is the bird taking off from the tree to the stars, perhaps at night, being fully authentic to herself, or perhaps someone wants to walk around naked in their yard or up the mountains. And here's that energy of the tributaries of the water that I was talking about, right? They all lead back to the same source, don't they? So we have the Eight of Wands of walking away and within, And then the leader here. Follow the leader. So let's see here. But it's also about, you know, Twin Peaks is coming up right here too. But it's all about being your own leader. But in learning to be your own leader, you know, you follow the one that leads by example, that doesn't tell you what to do, but kind of guides you by their example. And then what resonates with you, you take. And that's how you learn, because it makes sense to you. All right. So we're starting here from the Hermit, because that seems to be a theme there. Although we do have the King of Swords under here, and he has come up several times in the other reads. And we have Aquarius here for me, and Libra. So the air signs and the underlying energy are those two. And then again, Pisces and we talked about not having air here, but there was a lot of air in the underlying energies. And then we have the stars. It's like being up the mountains at night. And again, Twin Peaks are coming in here, but it's like he's walking through the valley of the shadow of death, right? I will see no evil. Because the light is shining even in the valley, in between. And I'm getting that, and again, that fireplace is coming out that I visualized. It's like camping out in the valley, creating a fire, a camp out. And remember, the mountains are earth, but they're made up of many things, right? Many metals and all the vitamins that you get, you know, it's all in there. There's water in there too, right? And the fire of the energy that the mountains are, they're very powerful, right? And the volcano that erupts with fire. And this is representing the peace, you know, the peace of the fire that's contained in these two mountains when they come together. The space between, right? The peace that can be achieved, even though there's a lot of power here. But when you bridge the two mountains, you know, the peace that can happen. Six of Wands. So what else do we have out here? Right, Capricorn and Pisces and Scorpio and Taurus. And there's just a lot of water up there. And we have the Page of Wands. Excited. This can also be a new mother and their new child here as well. Because this can be the seed, this can be conception, conceiving a new idea of yours. You know, that aha moment's coming up here. The starseed was coming up this morning. The starseed is the seed planted from the stars, right? You are a child of the stars. Six of Wands. Why is the Six of Wands there? Right, so we have the Sun upright with the Queen of Swords upright and the Chariot. So this is really positive energy, probably coming through from Thanksgiving. A lot of brightness and children, energy, happiness, vacations, sunshine as the Queen of Swords, which I'm getting again, Alice in Wonderland as the Queen of Hearts. It may be stern but loving in talking about ascension, or again, someone might be talking to or about Cancer, which I'm doing right now. We have Leo over here, and Leo's after Cancer. But again, the spiraling back around is that energy is coming up here. And the air between the Sun and the Chariot, right? The energy and the movement. The space between is the thought and the words. And that Six of Wands is coming up as the Queen of Swords, even though she's in swords. And she's coming up as the Queen of Hearts, which would normally be cups, not wands. But she's coming up in her power with great bold movement here, ascending fast. Then I'm getting at last, free at last, right? Because the Queen of Swords is the Statue of Liberty. And Athena comes up as that, aka Hercules. And Hercules means her harvest. So this Eight of Pentacles is the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups coming through upright, along with injustice. I'm noticing all the red, which again is the root cause, the root issue of the injustice. And when feelings, you know, disheartened or disappointed or heartbroken or just in separation, when feeling that energy, or just being out in the rain in bad weather, knowing to walk away, right? To get out of those thoughts. Walk away from the injustice instead of sitting in those energies is coming up here. And this could be someone who goes to work to get out of those thoughts, right? To keep their mind busy on creating instead of ruminating in those thoughts. And again, there's that Three of Swords coming up in that Four of Swords energy right here. And focusing on the one sword of the Ace of Swords instead of the Three of Swords. And then we have the Three of Cups coming up, which is, you know, this is joy and happiness of coming together. And this is the lack of joy of not coming together or having bad influences around, perhaps too many drunk people or people gossiping. And what kind of energy did you experience at your Thanksgiving this year? This also could be social distancing, being antisocial, third party influences. All that energy could be coming up here. And again, influencing the innocent ones here. And then the Eight of Swords was coming up reverse, which is I'm getting free at last again. I don't know what this child or innocent energy is, free at last. Free at last. And then there's more Pisces energy coming up. This is Pisces normally too. So a lot of Pisces energy there. So there may be some breakthroughs for Pisces here as well. The foundation here is that Five of Cups. Coming up is the Ace of Swords that we just talked about, that being the focus here. And then getting over yourself, getting over the loss, the regret, the past, those negative emotions. This is the truth being told. And now I'm getting truth be told, ... and you fill in the blank. Here we have this Queen of Swords. And that could be a separate person too, the Six of Wands. That could be a fire sign and an air sign. Right? We have Leo and Cancer here too as well. So they could be heavy influences in their charts. Coming forth with the truth to help people get over their sorrows. And again, this is someone going to work, right? To create instead of sit in those sad energies of the Three of Swords as opposed to the Five of Cups. And then we have the Queen of Cups reversed with the Hierophant. And this could be somebody sad in a marriage, or somebody sad in a commitment, or sad within their religion. Is their religion in the all boys club keeping them down, right? That's the Queen of Hearts being kept down by the man. So she becomes the Queen of Swords, right? To get her liberties back. Coming to America is coming up. And then Eddie Murphy. And the African Prince, right? So very interesting that that's coming up, and Spirit's really connecting with me on that one. So I'm going to leave that out there. So there's a lot of energy. And again, the slave trade is coming up with this. And that's not just the black slave trade. It's the child slave trade and the female slave trade and any other slave trade, right? Because everyone's been abused at some point. We have the Page of Wands there in the middle. The Land of Liberty. We have the Two of Wands reversed for the Page of Wands here, which is, you know, this is the next step from one, or the Ace of Wands going to the next step. What's the next step in some kind of new passionate beginning here? And taking the next steps, excited here. Perhaps someone feels like they have no other options. It's clear to them their next step here. But perhaps not knowing how to share with the Emperor reversed, or find the equity here, because this is a lack of balance, a lack of sharing, a lack of being charitable. And this Page of Wands is coming up as this person over here as well. But this also can reference a retired relative over here. Maybe this is a child or a grandchild trying to inspire their parent or grandparent, or perhaps even a really high-spirited young person at work trying to change the perspective of this guy who could be abusing his power as well. And he could be dealing with injury or illness here or exile, but he could also be abusing his power around these people. So this could either be him, the emperor there, or that could be people he's abusing or taking advantage, because there's an inequity here. But it's not affecting this young one over here or this inspired one over here. The challenge is that Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Coming up a lot here. So the Two of Cups, which is actually today's energy, it's the 42. And then with the Six of Cups reversed as the challenge here with the Seven of Pentacles. And these two also came up, which are two knights, not seeing eye to eye. Obviously, the Knight of Swords reversed can be very verbally abusive or lashing out, freaking out, or they could be silent or holding their tongue, right? Having something to say for sure, but holding it back. As the Knight of Wands comes in, perhaps to the rescue, maybe they don't feel like they can say something because they are coming in to help. Or maybe they just don't have words. Truth be told, I don't have the words. And this could be someone who always has the words. Again, this energy of this one, I don't have the words to say thank you, right? Maybe it's not someone who's used to saying thank you. But again, this Knight of Wands can be this Page of Wands over here. Even though this person maybe treated this one like crap, which can be this Page of Wands and the Emperor. But they're still helping them out despite that. And then here we have the Queen of Wands upright too. And remember, Knight of Wands and Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands. And the Wounded Warrior over here, which could represent the Page of Wands, except they're upright right there. So is the Wounded Warrior the older one, the Emperor reversed? And then we have the crowning energy. So this is the challenge here for you, is that Seven of Pentacles. And again, perhaps the need to, maybe you want to go forward in a certain way with your time, money, and energy, and someone's not agreeing with you, right? Your partner might not be agreeing, and maybe they're even mad at you and turning the other way, right? We have the Six of Cups reversed. The Two of Cups is upright. The adult part of you is upright, but the child part is not. That could be a falling out in the past that is brought up again. That can be your kids giving you a hard time. That can be past life issues coming up. But it also could be the past returning, right? Perhaps soulmates you haven't seen in a long time, or family members with Thanksgiving. And how to share your energy there. So the Hanging Man there. Hanging Man. That's your present moment. Is the Ace of Wands reversed and the Eight of Pentacles upright. So again, when you're feeling frustration or lack of growth, or lack of inspiration, not aroused, not finding the humor in things, someone who goes to work or someone who doesn't feel these things because they're always working. But it's coming up upright, not reversed. So it's not coming up as overwork. Somebody might be getting trying to get their ducks in a row or get things aligned or organized, and they may be frustrated in doing this. Or maybe they have to finish it up. They're at the 8, not the 9 or 10. And maybe they're kind of getting tired of doing this. But they're doing it, they're keeping a stiff upper lip. And maybe they're just tired of hanging out and wanting the inspiration of the awakening here. And again, the Hangman's coming up actually on that card as being upright here. So this is someone being still, and someone might be sick of being still, of doing the work, and someone's frustrated with being still for so long. Like, how long does it take, right, to be patient and allow things to unfold? Well, I guess it takes as long as it takes until you stop asking that question. And then there's the Two of Wands. Right, this is the clarity with new information or news coming through, but that can also knock you off balance. And are you balanced enough to always come right back to the center again? Or will something coming in totally knock you off balance, going into your old ways again? And this is the question. We have the King of Swords reversed here. So he's coming up from underneath the Hermit right there. So he could be a Virgo or have Virgo in his chart. And then we have Pisces. We have Pisces or Capricorn there as well. Okay. And what's coming up soon here is the sudden event here with the Tower. Let's see what the Tower has for you. For Cancer, November to December 2023. The sign of Cancer. The Lovers. Look at that. Wow. And detox. And facing fears. All right, so this can be Gemini. We do have Capricorn reversed over here. And there is air and fire over here. So this, and this Six of Wands, remember, is the starting card over here. Coming in to show the way, to save the day. This could be a lover, this could be a Gemini, this could be a twin. Coming in to get recognition or get attention or just to lead the way. And here is the breaking of the chains, the detoxing in the face of danger or in the face of your fears. Right, and here we have the Tower. I don't know if that Tower is going to come up upright or reverse, but we'll see. And then we have the Knight of Cups upright, which is over here at the end. So we'll see how that comes in. So this sudden event looks very positive, right? The Epiphany, where you can lead the way and not get knocked off your horse or knocked off balance by running into your fears again, right? And allowing that to detox, knowing when to walk away, but still standing up for yourself. So whether this is a sudden event, epiphany, some kind of sexual exchange as well, because we do have the Lovers here. And we do have that energy of two knights coming together, right? This one standing in their truth no matter what. And this one leading the way in their fiery energy of inspiration. Right? And not, this one's like not going to be railroaded by this one getting their way all the time. And yet this one's going to stay in their positivity despite any negativity that's coming off of the fire energy over here, or the sword energy over here. You see yourself as the Empress. And that was kind of messy. Let's see. So we have the Nine of Cups upright, and that could be Thanksgiving, right? And we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed with the Nine of Swords reversed. So this looks like someone who's ungrounded or perhaps ate too much, and then they go into negative self-talk, right? Feeling big, feeling pregnant. But again, that can be birthing something as well. So maybe perhaps they're telling you when you tend to start to put weight on, it's because you're about to give birth. So remember the cycles of birth, even in your worst moments. Oh, very interesting. There is to be happy with yourself, even when you feel like you're overweight or ungrounded, right? Or being your worst self, right? Going into those negative thoughts in your worst nightmare, being able to be satisfied with yourself despite the worst case scenario of being strong, taming the beast, right? Being careful of your words and your thoughts so that you don't put your negativity onto others, just like you don't want them to put that negativity onto you. So the Four of Pentacles is coming up as the Ten of Wands. So this is the Atlas energy, the weight of the world, again, carrying too much weight, right? Or working too hard, working out too hard, because you're going to hurt yourself if you keep up this pace, right? The death, the near-death experience, or being dead tired and exhausted, or clingy because you're working too hard, right? So the Scrooge energy is coming because, you're doing it to yourself. If you get to the Scroogey energy, then it's telling you something. It's telling you that you're doing too much physical work, you're putting out too much energy, you're going into that near-death experience again of the Ten of Cups, of having lost all the happiness from your life, having lost the emotional cycle, the family, the dream, the impossible dream came up on my Instagram today. The hope of having that perfect dream, that Sound of Music family, okay? And this is, the Ten of Wands is coming up as Atlas. The need to do that much work or put out that much energy is in the fear of losing it all. And yet, if you were doing this much work in a loving heart because you just have to do this work because you love it so much, there's no way it would be coming up as the Ten of Wands, right? It would be coming up as more of an expanded energy of love. So the block here is that Two of Swords, which came up reversed, which is clarity and lack of balance. But the Seven of Pentacles didn't come up yet in the clarifiers. We'll see how that comes up. And notice the Five of Wands is sitting on this. Because if you get knocked off your balance, which this is reversed, you know, you can go into that fight or flight energy of the Five of Swords, which is the war within, right? The battle's the outside stuff that you go through, the conflicts. But the war is the war within you. The battles won't happen if there's no war within you, right? As within, so without, and so on. So, and Spirit's connecting with me again. So that Two of Swords is coming up as the King of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles, which can represent father and child, but also you and your inner self here, right? The curious child, right? The student of life, the one who looks at all angles and kind of cherishes all the different aspects of this gold coin here, whereas this one may be taking it for granted. Right? To be young again, to be at the beginning of the cycle again, is to appreciate what you have. Because once you get to the top, you may lose that appreciation for it because it's already had, right? There's no inspiration there anymore. And there is love in this coming in here. The wounded warrior surrendering to offer love, and that can be self-love as well. So giving up all those wands, instead of defending those wands, surrendering instead to be your true self, which is love, the Holy Grail there, being offered to both the young and old, both the inner child and the adult of yourself, and surrendering to that instead of carrying the weight of the world. Okay? The weight of the world doesn't look like this when you do it when you're doing it because it makes you so happy. Okay? So it's energy of this love coming through for yourself and for others, but getting out of that stubborn energy of being on guard. The guard came up too in the Instagram message, so. All right, so now we get to the Eight of Wands over there. Let's see what that comes up as. And the Two Swords are coming up as, it's reversed, remember, the clarity here, the news, right? His truth and their truth, and then the truth is the war within. And the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. We have the Empress reversed. So she's coming up reversed as you're seeing yourself in lack after, because of eating too much, right? Again, there's this energy of weight issues coming up as well. Or birthing, right? After birth, right? That after birth is being associated with falling from grace, embarrassing yourself, or falling on your face because you're vulnerable, right? That's the most vulnerable position, is after you've given birth, right? Because you've just gone through a trauma and you need healing. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's the natural cycle. But we see it as something negative, as in falling from grace or doing something stupid. Well, maybe if you ate too much, right, you feel stupid for doing that, right? Well, don't we always say that to ourselves? So it's this back and forth energy. And here we have the Queen of Wands. And this could be you talking to yourself. I told you so. That you're going to feel like crap if you ate too much. And she's out working out. So she's feeling energized and better. Maybe she was trying to get the Empress reversed to come take a walk with them, or, you know, and again, they weren't agreeing over here perhaps. This also could be Taurus reversed and Aries reversed. And the worst is now over, which is the time when then the bliss comes in. When the swords fall out, well, that's the bliss of the pain going away. Where the love then comes in, which is here to stay, is what I'm hearing. The Knight of Cups. So after having gone through all of your trials and tribulations, always thought that I'd be an apostle, knew that I would make it if I tried. Then when we retire, we could write the gospel, so they'll still talk about us when we've died. And I'm getting major connection, and then I'm getting, then Jesus comes in. The end is always a little harder It's always a little easier when surrounded by friends. But is it, right? Are they your friends, or are they the ones who are going to betray you? The end is always harder when brought about by friends. And then he goes into the Garden of Gethsemane, where someone will betray me. The Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. I'm getting so much connection here. The Four of Swords. Right? Then the lack of sleep, the numbness of rising above or levitating, or rising above the lack of sleep to still function, or awakening and coming out about it as that Knight of Cups. There you go, confirming the Knight of Cups. Regarding the new moon energies that we're in, regarding perhaps the eclipse energies that we're still in, or this is the Knight of Cups getting up bright and early. This can represent deception though too. And again, this could be someone who never slept, and yet they still come off as the Knight of Cups, getting up bright and early, rise and shine. Or is that a deception and they're just pretending with the family? Or is it them literally being able to rise above and still be love? Because the Ten of Cups is coming up reversed. Okay. So the Knight of Cups is upright, but the Ten of Cups is reversed, which could be someone being loving to an unhappy, miserable family, or someone being loving or sending their love, or delivering something to them, some kind of deliverance very early in the morning perhaps, to end an emotional cycle, right? Being very loving about it, but saying, you know, I'm coming to give you my love, but, you know, I'm not going to stay in this negative energy. I'm not going to say that, but still coming by to give some love. And again, is this energy of deception here? And is this Eight of Wands upright or reversed? Kind of curious there. But we have the Knight of Pentacles coming up with that. And so there's two knights. One is reversed and stuck, unable to function, or stubborn, afraid, without the balls to move on, move forward. And we have the King of Cups reversed there too. And there's the energy of this. So this is coming up as the Cancer masculine side, as being the one who's being tight with their money or their time or their energy, or perhaps they're saving, or they are, they just don't have a lot to spend right now. So they're kind of, you know, Scroogey because they're in fear in this position. And he's coming up as part of the Ten of Cups family here. So he's being stubborn about spending his money because he doesn't have much, right? Or because he's scared if he loses that, you know, what might happen to him. And this is a child coming to the King of Cups reversed. And is this another child, or is this just his perspective here of being really stubborn? This could be somebody with Taurus in their chart right there. And again, that's coming up here. All right, there could be some stubbornness. You have the Knight of Pentacles here and the Queen of Pentacles reversed here, which is coming up as ungrounded energy, and the Empress reversed too. And again, it's all around weight issues coming up from Thanksgiving. That's what's the main thing that's coming up around this, right? The lack of satisfaction of drinking too much, eating too much, right? Gorging, coming together with bad influences or people who gossip, right? And then not feeling good about yourself afterward. So are you spending Thanksgiving with the people who make you feel good? Are you spending Thanksgiving with people who are not making you feel good afterwards? So you might want to feel into that. And again, there's just that wound coming up regarding weight loss. All right, so what's coming up after that, right? The family that's not the happy family, the emotional cycle that has ended here, and the Eight of Swords, which came up reversed, which is that release. I'm getting release of what? The release of histamines. So allergies are coming up, or the release of other things in the body, other hormones. And we have the Hierophant here. And again, the All Boys Club comes up with this and this one, right? someone with one foot longer than the other, their left foot longer than their right, or something about the toes coming up again. And the race, the human race, came up in my Instagram message as well, right? That it's not a race, it's the human race. And so you'll have to read my message about that. I can't remember off the top of my head everything, but it was a long one, a very good one. And the song was actually The Impossible Dream. So check that out on Instagram. But again, this is the energy of the religious leader, the Pope. This could be any kind of, establishment leader who's making others bow down to them. And again, there's cross keys here. So again, the Ankh, these are keys, they're not Ankhs, but that's bringing up the Ankh energy again of the teardrop. And the symbolism of the Catholic Church and the Pope with the Ankh on their I don't know what they're called, the cane or the whatever it's called. Anyway, and here in the picture is the antenna. And I'm getting the three little bears here, with the little one, the medium, and the big one. And why is that coming up? This is also Taurus, it's the Hierophant. And it's coming up upright here. All right, so, but it's not necessarily, I mean, it's usually supposed to be a positive energy when it's upright, having to do with tradition and guidance and societal norms. But it's not depicted that way in here. It's depicted as someone who controls other people or get them to bow down to him. And there's this release of anxiety here. Release from prison or imprisonment, those thoughts of imprisonment. Regarding the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which could be a Taurus here too. And again, Taurus, she's coming up with both times with the different Taurus cards. So the Queen of Pentacles reversed is coming up as Cancer, but it could also be someone who's got Taurus in their chart is going to more likely be inclined to this. Or this also could be someone who's married, who's not happy in their marriage. And then we have the Three of Wands, being present in the moment. Or the gift here, and the gift came up in the underlying energies here, remember. And there's that Five of the Hierophant. The gift of light comes up here, and there's love under here as well. So the love light of the Star and the Hierophant, which is Aquarius and Taurus. And remember, the Star is also about healing and shining your light. And then here is the Five of the box that contains the light. Very interesting. And that can represent something that's holding it back, right? Isn't the box of your gift what holds back the gift from you? And when you finally get that box off, then you can experience the light. And then here is the Devil. And he comes up as reverse. And now reversed is detoxing, but it also could be peeking out in the worst of the addiction, the breaking of the chains. And also Capricorn comes up here with Taurus. And then the Nine of Cups, which is upright, which is self-satisfaction after detoxing. And then the Queen of Wands comes up again upright here, and she's up here too. And it's next year, which is coming up soon. And the Page of Cups, which is the innocence, right, of the children, the baby, right? So we have the Page of Wands as the new seed, the conception, and then the baby that comes, and the truth from the mouths of babes comes the truth here. Okay, and then we have the Ten of Swords reversed. Was the Ace? Yeah, the Ace is upright. So the truth will set you free, because this Ten of Swords reversed is bliss. And there's this energy of the Fool falling, allowing themselves to fall, to be embarrassed, to fall into that bliss. It's like throwing yourself on the knife in faith. like falling on the knife, that knowing that the truth will set you free. And we have the Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups here. And they're very self-satisfied here. I believe the Page of Cups was upright too. Where are you? I guess it's still in the deck. I know I saw the Page of Cups, and I think it's upright. So this freedom here, and we have all these swords coming up here. See the swords being focused right here. The Ten of Cups reversed is the, letting them, being freed from the family or some negative cycle of emotions there. And this is that wake-up call here. And these two are both for me Aquarius. And this can be depression or arrogance, and the wake-up call to both of them. And again, we have that Three of Cups of bad influences right there. The wake-up call to the need to heal, the need to shine your light, the need to dream, and that releasing you from this emotional cycle of unhappiness. And then what comes up next is your challenge here, which is that Seven of Pentacles reversed, which is implementing a plan on how to move forward on your time, money, and energy, your savings. Do you want to retire? Do you want to go back to work? Do you want to buy something? Do you want to buy a home? Or is this about investing in union or a big celebration, a party? I'm getting apartheid. Wow. And I'm getting apartheid the same time I trip over the Hierophant here in that all boys club type of energy. Why is the Hierophant coming up as such a negative energy right now? Tell me about the Hierophant, please. It's saying they need love, is what they're saying. The most negative, evil person, your guides are saying to offer them love, right? You don't fight fire with fire. You still remain your loving person and surrender to it, right? Don't put your guard up. Let your guard down, right? Perhaps do a little performance for them to distract them from their worries. This is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which could be you here, right? Taurus, Queen of Pentacles reversed with Cancer, or perhaps another earth sign. Maybe you have other earth signs in your chart, but it's mainly coming up with Taurus here. The watery side of you is very happy with yourself, but the earth side of you is not. And again, there's this attachment to Taurus. Taurus loves luxury. They like to invest in things, in luxury items. Taurus likes sensuality. They like to receive love. They can teach you, even if they're in a negative energy, a Taurus, there's still something that they can bring to the table. There's still positive energies around Taurus, right? The luxury of Thanksgiving, of wanting to be a host or a hostess and offer meals to people in a lavish spread, perhaps to people who don't have that normally. So it's like offering this love back to this earth sign, or you with earth in your chart, or being ungrounded from Thanksgiving because you ate too much. This energy of the Hierophant's also coming up as Thanksgiving, as something that could be very negative, especially if you have issues with weight. Okay? So this is, and again, this is the energy of doing some exercise. Get up and have some fun, doing some dance and just be silly. That's the best way to exercise, because you don't even know you're exercising. You're just enjoying yourself. So I've actually been doing expressive dance in the morning instead of just doing my stretches, because when you do meditative expressive dance, your heart is guiding the stretches that you need to do. So maybe that's something you want to try to do. This also could be somebody performing at a party, and also perhaps getting someone else to shed light on what you do, perhaps to get somebody else's perspective on things. Right? I'm getting like, do you like my hat? Do you like my shoes? Right? As he's shedding his light on the shoes here. This also could be doing past life regression, right? Because you always say, what do you see your feet? That's coming up as well. So we have the Three of Wands. I don't know if that came up yet, though. I don't know if it's reversed. Let's see what comes up here. The Three of Wands. And the detoxing of the past. It's upright. So being present in the moment, being present to your gifts, being present to the nothingness, if that's the case, in order to tap into your vulnerable energy, your pure love. That is the release of anxieties, is that love, of that message of love coming in to yourself, not just from outside of you, but from yourself. Releasing your thoughts and your words, which is that past life regression. It teaches you how to be loving to yourself, to come full circle, to feel complete, whole, as naked as you are, out there in the world, protected by nature, right? Keeping out the beast and the stubbornness of the lion and the bull and the BS. Coming full circle. And again, there's a lot of Pisces right there. And that could be Cancer as well. But being present to this, the gift of the love, like not taking little kindnesses for granted, whether that's to yourself or from your pet, your child, from the world. Right? Instead of being present to this lack that you see, being present to the desert and all that it offers, the learning experience, the 40 days and 40 nights, that there's always a gift in every plight. And I'm getting here's the, this is like the divine feminine, the Pisces, the neighbor, you know, being completely exposed, perhaps hanging out in the pool or looking in the mirror. And again, weight issues are coming up. And here's the fallen angel, someone who's impatient with themselves. So this need to be patient. We also have Pisces and Sagittarius here. And the devil. And again, water signs tend to bloat, right? That's water. So it's especially, it's especially important for you to emote. If you don't want to bloat, then emote. But do it in a positive way, right? And that's where giving to others comes in. Do what you love to do as far as giving to others or with children or pets. And again, Cancer is also all about that happy home, right? We have the High Priestess here, detoxing, perhaps a nurse or an aide, a sister, right? A High Priestess, a psychic, a card reader, whatever. That's also Pisces or Virgo energies for me. Can be Aquarius too. And then we have the Eight of Wands, which is upright, the arrows of love. And I'm getting the seeds of love, the star seeds of love. Sowing the seeds of love, as I was bringing up, so it is. So the itis, the swelling of the heart. That's because, right, you are connected to the heart. And that energy of emotion, of love, of the heart, where the heart swells when you become full of love. So they're relating that to weight. So, and the Spirit's connecting with like crazy for your read. All right, so we have Capricorn reversed and Pisces or Virgo, perhaps Aquarius upright right there. This energy of detoxing with help. Ask for help, or a sister, a friend, a psychic. But, and again, the arrows of love here, and ending conflict. And go back and forth to build the bridge as many times as you need to get rid of the fire, the conflict that's coming up here. That's what we're doing. We're purifying that energy of battle, right? That when you start seeing the battles lesson outside of yourself, you know you've been doing the work within, because the war is within and will end the battles that you see outside, right? That losing battle of what? Of trying to come clean, of purifying with the swords, purifying your thoughts and words, coming clean, getting clean, cleaning up your act, cleaning up your space, cleaning up the house. But it's not about being messy in your house. You're allowed to make messes. It's about purifying your perspective on that and the way we treat ourselves as well as others. Right? Especially judging others at Thanksgiving, right? With the family. And this is dumping emotional loads, emotional attachments, right? Getting rid of you know, this can be heaven in your eyes and synchronicities, which is wonderful. And this can also be, you know, a kid in a candy store that wants everything, right? Their mouth is, or their mouth is bigger than their stomach? Their wants are bigger than their, whatever it is, you know what I mean? learning how to like control your perspective on your emotions and all the things that you love, right? When your heart wells up because you're a kid in a candy store, being able to just pick one, or perhaps discover what's unknown about something here. But this also could be the arousal of seeing heaven in your eyes and then finding the one. Does that mean you have to let go of all of your other dreams? Or just find balance in that? Okay. We have, this is offering, it's by, and again, this is water, right? Water weight. Getting rid of all that emotional weight, right? You retain weight because of you're not being your true emotions, your true self, right? Or you're, when you're being hard on yourself, you're stunting your growth because you're not accepting who you are. But in dumping all of these emotions that don't serve you anymore, you're opening up a whole new energy of creation here. There's a whole new creative cycle here of manifesting that opens up for you. And that's coming to the King of Wands reversed and the Page of Swords reversed in their negative energy, right? Are they tired? Are they sick? Are they sick and tired? He came up in the message too today. Is he abusive? He could be physically abusive. He could be sexually abusive. Or is he just a tired man in negative self-talk? Is this a child who's mouthing off in negative self-talk, spreading rumors about someone they envy, right? Someone who they see as having everything. Someone who's happy with themselves. So this could be the King of Wands reversed, pissed off about the Queen of Wands upright here. And again, this is the biggest manifestation of the deck, right? The single person with everything or the family with everything. And they're side by side right here. And this is the King of Wands, which is also this year purifying the ego of the King of Wands, the fire energy, and those negative thoughts or rumors, right? Spreading rumors when they're mad or feeling tired and grumpy because of the energy of being around this abundance of someone being happy with themselves. And the Queen of Wands is upright, but he's not. We'll be working on the Queen of Wands next year. That could be next Thanksgiving here. This is the issue of having issues at work or not coming together to manifest and defenseless to the energies, in the downturn, the slowdown. But this is also the energy of when this energy comes in, they're telling you to slow down. You don't need to constantly work. Sometimes you need to take off. Perhaps you need to get someone to cover you. And then we have the truth coming in, right? Falling on the sword in faith of bliss. And the Queen of Wands is upright. The Page of Cups is upright in happy energies here. Bringing forward the truth and triumph, perhaps to those who are not in that energy, to show them what it means to feel bliss. And we have the Tower here for you is reversed, which is resistance to sudden change, or after a sudden change in the fallout, where there's still a lack of peace. And this is boredom and apathy. It's time, not boredom, it's not apathy. It's time to be still and ground and integrate what you've learned. Are you able to accept love? Are you collecting jars of hearts? Right? Or are you learning how to receive love? Or are you being manipulative or feeling insecure? Feeling like you don't have all the tools. Maybe you have 3 cups, but you don't have any pentacles or swords. That's okay. You don't have to be at the same place as everybody else. Everyone's supposed to be exactly where they are on their own journey. We have Scorpio reversed and Gemini reversed here. There could be Virgo reversed here as well. And for you, we have Libra reversed here as well. So, and Cancer can be a very insecure energy too, right? It's the crab. So it's this energy here, feeling like you don't have all the tools that you need. Well, if you feel like that, then just ask for help. And this is the energy of shutting down sometimes too, when you don't know how to deal with the situation. But that's, again, time to be still and sleep on it perhaps until you feel ready to accept or reject whatever you're being offered. You don't have to accept this, but are you even seeing it? Are you seeing it as a gift from God? Are you seeing it as what it is, as an offer of kindness? Did you reject all these three too, or did you accept these so you think it's more of the same when it's never exactly the same? There's layers and layers and layers here. And again, the energy of insecurities, of the wounds that are coming up in our lessons for today. So for Cancers, weight loss is coming up here, or weight gain. It can be both ways. But again, the energy of bloating, so weight gain is more of the focus here. So we have all the fire. When the well is dry, there's a need for water. There's a song coming up, I'm just not getting it. Now I'm just getting Mary Magdalene coming in, you know, try not to get worried, try not to turn on to problems that upset you. Oh, don't you know everything's all right? Yes, everything's fine, and it's cool, and the ointment's sweet. For the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax. Think of nothing tonight. I don't know how to love him. Okay, so what is our takeaway from all this, Cancer? Whoa, this one came up too. Hold on. So the one that fell on the ground is boundaries. Firm boundaries are needed now, and that can be boundaries about what you're going to eat, right? That could be self-boundaries, but also boundaries for other people. You know, someone saying, no, please, you have more, have seconds, have thirds, and maybe you don't want seconds or thirds. Be fine with putting up those boundaries. Longing, someone is secretly yearning for you, and children are important to this partnership. So is the longing from a child or a pet, or is it someone that you don't know about? And addiction is affecting this relationship. So there, you know, there's that detox going on right here. And awakening, someone's undergoing a spiritual transformation. Is there something else? Yep, and marriage. This relationship is moving toward a sacred union. So there is a building here, but the need to put up boundaries, again, to be your true self. Say what you mean and mean what you say. The underlying energy is finances and financial challenges that are affecting this connection. You release by radical acceptance and surrender. They can help you let go, which we talked about with the wounded warrior letting go, right? Even when someone's not been good to you, you can still not allow them to change you. You can still be love. And maybe you'll help heal them so they won't be so much like that anymore, as opposed to fighting that energy. So again, finances, but release. Maybe there's finances with somebody else that's affecting your relationship, but again, accepting it and surrendering to it perhaps will help the energies create something better sooner. Okay, so again, patience. Boundaries, firm boundaries are needed now. Someone's secretly yearning for you. Children are important to this partnership. Addiction is here, as well as awakening. So someone's undergoing a transformation, but it is moving toward a sacred union. So there is good news here. But again, we're refining our energies here, really clearing our thoughts and our perspectives on ourselves and our words, right? Not always saying everything that we think, especially things that may hurt other people that you can't take back. I'm going to pull from the other deck too, because I've been doing that. Oh, I didn't realize how long I'm going. You guys had a lot coming through. And this is my Kipper, Lenormand, Reverie combined 2 decks. Let's just do a last card for you guys. The gift of the heart. The gift of patience. And again, the phoenix rising to purify. Like one final blast through the system. To, like, you know, when you rev the engine, blast, getting all that little crap off that you couldn't get off before. Oh, crap. So something about crap coming up. Maybe you're having pooping problems. All right, so 37 came up, which is like Father Time. That's that King of Cups who's reversed. So maybe he really is reversed. Okay, but that's King of Cups reversed, which could be Cancer. Can be someone who's emotionally detached, someone who's over-emotional, or perhaps someone who's drinking, someone who overeats, is depressed. So these are some of the wounds that we need to clear out. We also have Pisces coming up here too, with the 12 and the Hanging Man, being still. The privileged lady, right? They tend to be more still because they have the money to pay other people to do the house cleaning and stuff like that. So they need to move their body more or exercise. And then we have the 38, which is again that water sign energy of the Queen of Cups. And those rickety bridges that perhaps need some work, to work on them. And we have one more, hold on. And the dog, don't forget the pets. The 18 of the romantic puppy love, the 10 of Cups, which came up reversed in this read. And then we also have the 33, which is that Christ vibration. And the key, the cross keys, the key that you have to open up the cage. And that's the 8 of Pentacles, to set you free. So hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the keely and set yourself free. You don't have to discuss it with the other person. You don't need permission from the other person to leave, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a church, whether it's a business, a job. You don't need permission from anyone to leave. Just hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the keely and set yourself free, especially from false energies, the dance of the masks, the masculine and feminine energies, not being their true selves. Okay, so just really refining here. That's the message here. You're still moving forward. We've been given this push of this new portal energies going towards Sagittarius to keep going, right? The fourth leg of the race was coming up on Instagram. Again, read that message. It's coming up for you. Okay, Cancer, I got to get going. This was a long one. It's all about the family this week. So, okay, so remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature, and to be good with yourself. It's okay. It's Thanksgiving. And maybe you won't eat so much next year when you don't want to. Rise and be loved. I'll see you next time. Happy week, guys. See ya.